Daniel Dubois destroyed an arrogant giant.
Say something now. Stop back, say something now. Say something now.
January 27th, hoping for a similar type of dramatic encounter.
In the world of boxing, few matches have captured the imagination like the heavyweight showdown between Britain's quiet Daniel Dubois and the USA's brash Jarrell Miller. The stage was set in 2023. Dubois, at 26, was on his biggest learning curve after he surrendered in a defeat at world title level to Alexander Usyk in August. He was no stranger to adversity. On the other hand, his opponent Jarrell Big Baby Miller was in the prime of his career. Powerful, undefeated, and extremely strong with 22 knockouts in 26 fights. Miller was a giant whose weight of 333 pounds and a height of 6'4" gave him an incredible advantage over any opponent that dared to stand in his way. He had a stunning 100 pounds advantage and had been exposed for using a performance-enhancing drug, likely the reason why the giant acted cocky, as if he were fighting mere mortals.
I'm gonna cook this shrimp, the two-time quitter. You know what I'm trying to say?
Boy.
Two-time quitter, ain't gonna spank shit.
Big baby. Every baby has a daddy, and I'm gonna beat you like I'm your daddy.
Miller was never shy of being proud and making bold gestures. On the other hand, Dubois was the epitome of humility and restraint, letting his fists do the talking with 19 of his 20 wins coming by knockout. At the weigh-ins, Miller pushed Dubois in the chest. Dubois, true to his character, took it in stride, adhering to his principle. My fists will do the talking. The day of reckoning finally arrived, and the unforgettable 10-round clash was set on the undercard of Anthony Joshua versus Otto Wallin at the Kingdom Arena in Riyadh, Saudi Arabia. First to enter was Miller, dressed like death himself, and coming out to DMX, announcing to the eerie wolves, a fitting prelude to the battle ahead. Following him was Dubois, who only appeared in an all-black hoodie like Mike Tyson in the 80s, his desperation for a comeback distracting him from any pre-fight theatrics. The fight began with this unspoken pact between the two heavyweights. The 333-pound Miller stood in his corner, pounding on his chest in a gesture that seemed to say, "My body is yours to hit until you fall off. Big Pharma." Miller sure can soak up the punches, but Dynamite Dubois was ready to batter him. The fight begins.
You know, it's interesting to hear some of the pundits. Some said, listen, the longer this fight goes.
Dubois immediately started unloading heavy blows, his powerful jabs taking center stage, while Miller adopted the Homer Simpson strategy, his huge arms steadfastly guarding his face as he walked down Dubois.
Miller needs something tied up. Put all of that 333 pounds.
Body shot by Miller right there. Both these fighters are open for uppercuts. If you see the elbows are out, uppercuts.
Well, this is the type of fight that Miller wants.
Well, keep leaning in with his head.
Yeah, I noticed that too. But that's up to the referee.
The body language does not look good. And now Miller's starting to open up a little bit.
Yeah, I agree with you, Tom.
And look, both of them trying to...
The heavyweight division is essentially over.
Carry on like this.
I think Miller got Dubois landed in that exchange.
Miller, 22 knockouts in his 26.
Pressure from Miller.
The jab, so effective. And when you're that...
Good jab. Put your foot behind you, that leverage behind you. It's like a 2x4 hitting the front of your face.
You gotta give Dubois credit. He's not backing away. Big right, a clubbing right hand. Didn't quite score effective for Dubois. Downstairs again.
The inside game has to pick up. You understand? We staying in the middle and we not. You understand me? So you gotta go to the sides and come up the middle. Straight shot.
1, 2, 3, like pop, pop, pop. Disengage.
Yeah, I mean, look, it's good pressure. Looking for the right hand over the top. I just don't like this pressure from Miller if you're a Dubois.
Of Daniel Dubois. Now, if you ask me which of these two fighters I would be going to pay off, but it's pretty clear to me that Dubois is landing the cleaner shots in the first 3 rounds.
Right there from the referee, but Miller plodding forward. But good right cross on the inside from Miller. There's the left hand. He's starting to score the big punches, Sergio.
Yeah, short shots right there. The perfect shot. It was a right uppercut.
Way too wide from Dubois.
Location. Right now he needs upper body movement in order to start switching things up defensively for Miller, who's trying to fight, who's zeroing in on the right hand.
Best round of the
Tires him out even faster.
But 33 knockouts will battle former interim world champion John the Gorilla Ryder. And it
Feel more like a straight right hand, especially when you're meeting by jabs coming in that direction. But back comes Big Baby. That's shook and rocked. Dubois, you can see the uppercut. Uppercut left hook. If that right hook would have...
Good variation. This is where it needs to be, holding the center movement away. I love this from Dubois.
talk trash in the ring.
There you go. That's Dubois' fight right there. Just jab.
By the 4th round, Miller's game plan was starting to pay off. The weight dominance was clear, and Dubois looked tired from shoving and carrying the weight of Miller occasionally. Big Baby started to pound off, and this was when the fight truly began.
He pushed back.
This may come down to who can take more of the beating.
More conditioning, who has more heart. What Big Baby Miller is doing, I mean, look at George Foreman. Foreman's a perfect. He just wants to get the feeling of landing shots.
Absolutely anything.
Good shot right there by forward. It close that range of your Miller. So Dubois, it'll serve him best. Just keep popping that jab on the back foot. That's all you need to do.
Head forward from Daniel Dubois, who's warned earlier by the referee.
Keep throwing that right overhead hook. Miller's keeping his left hand down because he's tired. There's a perfect shot.
Boy, Miller just doesn't care if he eats 2 or 3 shots coming in.
He's got to be careful.
I really believe Dubois needs to start looking for that right hand. I think he can do some real damage.
Just with that jab. And it's off the back foot, too. Dubois better be careful with that head. That's going to be open right there. This is going to be a big round for Miller. He's going to want to get some respect. Dubois going to have an opportunity to land that right hand.
Predominantly to his left, and he's going to walk onto that right hand of Miller. Needs to vary this movement.
Oh, there you go. I'm glad that the referee is sluggish, slow, lethargic, just too big. This is what happens when you gain that much weight. When you have...
There's the straight shots, there's the sluggish return from Miller. I mean,
the stool getting hit with shots like that. I think it's the end for both men. They move his head properly to the left or right, he just collapses forward. It's not that he's doing it intentionally, it's just he doesn't know how to clinch and fight on the inside.
Miller trying to put his weight on Dubois.
Lead hand of Miller far too loose. Too low.
Just as Dubois' supporters were hoping he could survive to decision, he unloaded heavy artillery like an extra boost of energy had been poured into him between the rounds.
Said before this fight that Miller was tailor-made for me. I love guys that stand right in front of me, and that is exactly what Miller has done. Wow.
No, I don't think he does. I think his arms are weary. He doesn't have the leg strength.
2 of the best things a boxer can have in a fight.
The only momentum that can go against Dubois is boxing by Dubois right now.
Does Dubois want to stay in the middle trade and is here in the 10?
Maybe. I think he's going for the finish now. Dubois wants to make a statement in the heavyweight division.
Dubois' signature right hands came like torrents on Miller in the last seconds, and the giant could not withstand its force. In an instant, Dubois' predatory instincts were activated, emerging him victorious in a truly spectacular fashion. The late knockout was as unexpected as it was magnificent. We all can learn from this moment that arrogance always entails subsequent penalties. The humble and quiet Dubois made the biggest statement with his fists, a logical punishment for Miller's pre-fight brashness. Since this fight, Miller's career has been at a standstill. He faced former unified heavyweight champion Andy Ruiz Jr. in a 12-round heavyweight bout, ending in a majority draw. On the other hand, this victory refreshed the career of Dubois. The Dynamite won the vacant IBF interim heavyweight title after a technical knockout victory against high-ranked Croatian boxer Filip Hrgović, before delivering perhaps the best performance of 2024 by knocking out Anthony Joshua in the 5th round in front of a massive crowd in Wembley Stadium, London.